It's a climb that matters, and we have to climb the thing without any second thought that I will be able to reach it. I am okay, you're okay. Good evening, team. It's a very wonderful day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you have enjoyed the song. This is one of the songs I used to play to the college students whenever I go for giving motivational lectures. There are certain songs that is very, very wonderful, which will really motivate you. So can anyone tell any one such song from Hindi? Motivation. The moment you listen to that song, you get motivated. Hi, Sanjana. Sanjana, have you come? Okay. Yeah, team. Can anyone tell any one song from Hindi? When you listen to the song, you get motivated. Yeah, can anyone just come and sing here? You are putting in the chat box. Okay, I will release the. Okay, 1 minute. I will. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. I will open the mic. Okay, so people are joining one by one. So let's wait.
Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah. So there are many songs. Sanjana, have you joined?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've joined.
Zenith, have you joined?
Sir, it's Ashwini.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah, Zenith and Ashrin, both.
Yes, sir.
Acha, okay. Acha, okay. So Ashrin also joined?
Yes, sir.
Acha, okay. So team, today we are going to see some of the important aspects. So as far as a life position is concerned, yesterday we have been talking about life position. One thing which yesterday I forgot to tell everyone, there is something called character level position and surface level position. Character level position means it has gone deep. Something has gone deep, very deep. That is character level position. Surface level position means just now only it's starting. Okay. So anything on the surface level, easily we can change it. That is maybe counseling 1 or 2 settings we will be able to create. If it is in this character level, then we have to work a little bit more. So when something is on the character level, we have to give more of unconditional positive strokes and conditional positive strokes, and slowly we have to bring them. Okay, so for psychology content, you can follow Learn with on Instagram. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Sanjana?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, Sanjana will start the session with graphology. Now, graphology, it is one of the wonderful science. See here, I would like to talk about every aspect, okay? Graphology, Reiki, okay? All these aspects, somehow it touches the, what you call, psychology and psychology of mind, okay? So, over to Sanjana. Sanjana, over to you. Over to
Yes.
you, Sanjana.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir.
बोलो चलो खाने, मम्मा ने खाने को बोला।
अच्छा, खाने के लिए चलते हैं या मुझे भी बहुत भूख लगता है, बहुत भूख लगता है। अच्छा, खाने के लिए क्या बनाया है? घर में क्या बनाया है? चपाती?
Yes, sir. Chapati. Come to have it.
अच्छा, 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 मैं तो नॉर्थ इंडिया का चपाती का तो मैं तो आई एम स्लेव।
Sir, you're most welcome.
हमारा
We have a
हमारा
fulki
जहाँ पर
here.
जहाँ पर जो है उतना अच्छा चपाती नहीं बनाते जैसे आप लोग बनाते हैं ना, क्योंकि मैं
yes,
मध्य
sir.
प्रदेश में रहा। आप लोग जो
Yes, sir.
चपाती बनाते हैं ना वो एक
Sir, that
art
is
है।
called fulki.
Yeah,
Sir, that is called fulki, not a
yeah.
chapati.
Chapati,
Chapati
yeah.
is that something we apply oil on it, but fulki we apply a ghee on it. Desi ghee.
Wow. अब तो मुझे जाना पड़ेगा। संजना, बाय बाय संजना। अब तो I have to
Yes,
go to
sir,
some
most
North Indian
welcome.
hotel now.
Yes, sir, most welcome.
अच्छा, संजना, over to you, संजना।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So moving on with the session ahead. Hello, everyone. I hope that you all are doing good. And again, my same repeated lines that I hope that you have been learning a few things. I hope a lot of things since the past 5 days. And yes, today I will be talking about one of the concepts known as graphology. I hope that you might have, heard about this term or concept. Where is it used? How is it related to psychology? How is it related to one's personality? So moving ahead with that, I would request you all firstly to switch on your video cameras so that, I can interact with you all and we can have a very interactive session.
Sanjana, will you please share yesterday class video? Actually, there is a lot of network problem in Delhi.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I was unable to log in.
Yeah.
Please. I request, like I'm not able to do the quiz that sir has shared in the group. So I need yesterday class video so that I can fill out that.
I will be sharing it. Okay. It is
Okay,
ready
thank
with
you,
me.
sir. Thank you.
It is ready with me. Today before 10 o'clock. Okay. It
Okay,
will
no
be
issues,
on the group.
sir. No issues. Thank you so much, sir.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving ahead, yes, thank you first of all for switching on your video cameras. Okay, we will be moving on with the concept of what graphology is. Okay, I would like to ask you all that what graphology is. But okay, just raise your hands if anyone knows what graphology is and what has to be done in graphology or what is the basic concept behind graphology. If anyone knows, you will have to raise your hand. Please don't unmute yourself. I will just ask you to unmute and then you can talk. Okay. Does anyone, have any idea about what graphology is and why is it used? Yes, Gayatri ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, it's basically something to do with your handwriting. And on the basis of the handwriting, you get to know the person's current state of mind.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, that's what my understanding is.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yes. As Ms. Gayatri shared with us, that graphology is basically understanding a person's handwriting just to get an analysis of what the person's personality is. Meaning that एक इंसान की handwriting पढ़ के और after looking at the physical attributes of a person's handwriting, we can tell a little about or give an analysis about what kind of person he or she is. जैसे लोग कहते हैं कि psychologists दिमाग पढ़ते हैं, which is actually not true. The same goes here with handwriting. Handwriting, we can study the physical attributes of handwriting and we can give a personality analysis of a person. For example, the projective techniques that are used in psychology, the thematic appreciation test, and there are many more psychological projective tests which give us a subjective idea about what the personality of a person is. So I will be sharing, many concepts about what handwriting analysis is and how is it used. So before that, I'm just sharing my PPT. Please tell if it's visible. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
I'm just placing it in the presentation form. Okay. Just a second. Give me a second, please. I hope it's visible now. Yeah. Okay. 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 So, I will start with a quotation which says that I don't think that I have ever seen your handwriting before. It's an oddly personal thing, isn't it? This is a quotation which is given by a very famous person. They usually say it this way because a person's handwriting is their biggest asset. I can actually read your handwriting and give an idea about what kind of a personality do you have. But again, correcting you all over here, it's not a complete science. It's a pseudoscience where a lot many researches are still done on this aspect just to get an idea or an empirical evidence about what handwriting is. All right, and what personality analysis can be done. Okay, so firstly, moving ahead with the basic concepts. Firstly, what is graphology? जैसे कहते हैं कि whatever we write, जैसे अगर हमारा मूड बहुत ज्यादा खराब होता है, if you notice, if you are in a meeting and your boss is shouting at you and you're supposed to write that thing in your paper, तो आप उस पेपर पे जो भी लिखते हैं वो इतनी गंदी हैंडराइटिंग में लिखा जाता है that we don't even know what are we writing. And sometimes if you remember your past when you were a kid and जब आप स्कूल जाया करते थे and you know whenever the professor or the teacher used to teach and you didn't like the subject. For example, there are some people जिनको science पसंद नहीं होती है and whereas there are some people who don't like social sciences. And if you look at the handwriting, it would be so bad that your mother would slap you and say कि ये क्या handwriting है? I cannot even read it. And sometimes you might not be even, able to understand what you have written. So therefore, the main point or the concept that I'm trying to tell you is that your mood affects your handwriting. It tells us about the current state of mood. What am I feeling? I will eventually write it down on the sheet of paper. It will affect my handwriting. Again, hearing the concept here, it is not a proper science. There are a few evidences that have been provided, but it is considered to be a pseudoscience. And how is it related to personality? For example, if I am studying the physical attributes of the handwriting of a person, if I am reading your handwriting, I won't study कि आपने अपनी ट्रिप के बारे में क्या लिखा है या फिर what grammar are you using, आपने कितनी अच्छी इंग्लिश लिखी है या कितनी बुरी इंग्लिश लिखी है. No, I will just be understanding the perspective कि आपने वो कैसे लिखा है. आपके जो शब्द या फिर the words that you have used, whether are they too big या वो बहुत ज्यादा बड़े हैं या वो बहुत ज्यादा छोटे हैं. Are you writing with a very big spacing or a small spacing? So these are the important aspects that we need to understand. So let's talk about what handwriting analysis is. First of the example that I would like to share with you all is large letters versus small letters. Graphology is a very vast subject. You will have to understand about a lot many aspects before coming down to the simpler ones. But I'm talking about a very few parts here. Okay. The first is, if you are writing right now, I would request you to look at your handwriting. There are many ways a person writes. कुछ लोग होते हैं, there are some people who might write with very large letters, whereas there are some people who will use very small letters while they write. All right. The people who are usually using the large letters are the ones who are extroverts. For example, अगर आप किसी का handwriting analysis करेंगे, if you are looking at a person who writes, in a very big manner, वो बहुत ही बड़े type of handwriting use करते हैं, it usually is considered that a person is an extrovert. But if a person writes in a small letters, अगर वो छोटे letters में लिखते हैं, then a person is usually considered to be an introvert. Then there is another aspect, the spacing between the letters that you use. For example, as the example here mentions, कि अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा large spaces leave कर रहे हैं अपने words के बीच में, this will show that you are not connected to the people around you. For example, if I'm talking to you, I will just be talking to you for my work purposes, nothing more than that. But if there is a person who is writing with small spaces, like as in the example mentioned over here, it says that a person is connected with their own self and also the people around them. Okay, so these are the two aspects which are considered in the spacing. Next is the pressure. For example, अगर आप अपने पेज पे लिखते हैं, whenever you are writing, for example, if you are using a notebook right now, you might notice that when you turn the page, there is some imprinting on the page of the previous page that you have written. For example, if I'm writing right now that graphology or heavy pressure, if I turn the page, वहाँ पे कुछ imprint छपा होगा or there might be some imprint of the previous page. This shows that you as a person, have a very good impact on the people that you meet. For example, if I'm meeting you right now, you will remember me. You will remember me and you will say, yeah, this is the person that I talked to. But if I'm talking about a person who don't have much bigger imprints on the next page, this shows that the person is flexible. They adjust to the changes. They very well adapt to the problems that they might face. For example, in the COVID situation that you have faced, everyone, there might be some family members who will be just like, so chill, okay, we will manage whatever happens, business, okay, family, okay, I will see what I can do. But there might be some people who will be heavily worried. What am I supposed to do next? What should I do? So, this is one of the differences. This is an example of signature analysis that I have put up in my presentation. Again, this is a very vast topic. There are many, many things that you have to understand just to, analyze a person's handwriting. These are very few and very little aspects that I'm talking about right now. There are many aspects that you need to know. So one of the aspects that is covered in signature analysis is, okay, so there are so many people. For example, if you look at your own signatures, there might be a possibility that you can read the signatures that you have written. For example, my name is Sanjana. I might be able to read what my signatures are. But on the other hand, there are some signatures which I cannot read. They are just in a form of lines. So, this is the difference in the two types of signatures that tell us. The first signature that mentions, you can very well read the name John Smith. This type of signature is the legible signature. Whereas the second signature is of the same person, but you cannot read what the person has written. So therefore, this signature is illegible. The legible signatures tells that you as a person is an open book. You can be understood by the other people, or you show yourself to other people that, okay, I am understanding you and I am an open book. But again, there are so many concepts that you have to look up to. For example, if you need to analyze a complete personality of a person, you do need to look at their signatures as well as their handwriting sample. Because signatures only and only tell us about our real self. Like what I am showing to you right now. You all don't know me personally. You just know me via internet or via my professional life. This is what I am showing to you. This is known as the real self. Whereas my real self, which is usually coming in front of my friends or family, you might not know about it because you don't know me personally. So therefore, the signatures tell us about the real self. So if your signatures are legible, this shows that you as a person, are very straightforward. You show whatever you feel, and anyone can read it through your face. Facial expressions, they can read it through your face. But if I talk about the illegible signatures here, that is, you cannot read my signatures. I as a person is someone who doesn't open up so easily. You will have to create that rapport with me. You will have to spend that amount of time with me to understand me and to let me open up in front of you. Okay, so this is one of the other concepts that is used in handwriting analysis. That is the slant. What kind of slant do you use while you are writing? For example, if I am writing, does my handwriting move towards the right or is it towards the left? So the person's handwriting which move towards the right, it usually shows that you have a very friendly nature. You tend to be warm. You tend to be very welcoming. You tend to talk to people, and you are very good at interacting. And more the slant towards the right, the more these characteristics increase. And if I talk about the leftward slants or the straight slant, these people are the ones who are usually practical in their life. For example, if you have straight handwriting, it neither goes left or right. You are a person who is very, very practical, who knows how to spend their money, who knows how to spend their time, and they have a practical approach towards life. Okay. But if I talk about the leftward slants, there might be something that a person is, yes, they are strong. They try to show themselves in front of the world, but somewhere or the other, they repress their feelings. Though they don't express themselves as much as they should. वो अपनी feelings को छुपाते हैं. Okay. So this is again a very small concept of handwriting analysis. There are many, many more things which are actually required to be understood in order to, just to move ahead. And moving to the next slide, this is a very interesting concept that I would like you all to understand. And I will be explaining this in a little more detail. Okay. So, we all have a habit of drawing. We might draw something, while we are talking to someone on phone, or even sometimes we are attending our meetings online, maybe our college classes, our school classes, anything. We are talking or we are listening to the professor, and just when we look at our notebook, we might see, oh, wow, I have drawn something. It's sometimes a shape, or sometimes I've written my own name, or maybe eyes, geometrical shapes. These all have an interpretation. They do actually tell us a lot about our personality. So here I'm going to be talking about doodling. Doodling actually helps you to give an emotional outlet. Doodles actually are an interpretation of what your emotions are and what you have been dealing with. And it actually helps you to enhance your creative thoughts, and it also helps you to pay attention to what you have been repressing, because it is the doodles that we draw, they usually come on the paper when it's either subconscious, or we draw it unconsciously. Like I'm talking to you, I might be listening to the professor or my boss while they're giving me a lecture, and I'm just looking at my sheet and I see, oh wow, I've drawn something. There are some people who might draw faces, they might who draw flowers. So here are some of the examples that I've put up. Okay, so first is the geometrical shapes. So if you have a habit of drawing something on your paper, you might just look on search of it. Geometrical shapes, be it square, triangle, circle, cuboid, cube, anything, they actually tell that you have a clear thinking, you have a practical approach towards life, and you have got good planning skills, or maybe you are considering to plan something or think about something in a manner that you get something in your life. Again, if a person draws flowers, they are usually friendly, they like to socialize, they are warm, open, and they like to interact with other people. So these are the few examples that I've mentioned, but again, there are so many ranges of doodles that you will actually get to see in your own pages. So one of the examples over here is, this is a little, to the not to the positive perspective, might be a little more to the negative side, which tells us, like, if a person, I have seen this and noticed in many people, when they are a little angry, and they don't there isn't any outlet to let their anger out. I have seen a few people, they might go and just open their notebook and just take a pen or a pencil and just scribble. And you might have also noticed this, like not until now, but when you are angry and if you use this outlet to let your anger out, it usually comes in the zigzag line. This is something that denotes that you have aggression and impatience within you, and again, it's related to the masculine traits. Like, again, okay, you are feeling a little aggressive and somewhere or the other, which is a little negative interpretation, which comes down to the part. Okay, so moving ahead, I will be analyzing this specific sample for you, but before that, I would like to tell you all that these were a very few examples of doodles. There are so many people who draw so many other things. For example, there are people who have habits of drawing nets. You might draw spider webs, you might draw crosswords, nets. This usually shows that you as a person are stuck in a particular kind of situation. You might not know about something, you are trying to find a solution for a particular thing, and you don't know what you are supposed to do and what you are doing. So this is again an interpretation of what you are thinking and what your personality is. It's not a magic tool that I will just go and read your handwriting and I will just, do a magic spell and I'll tell, oh, wow, you are this kind of a person. No, there are so many aspects that need to be covered. For example, the baseline, the pressure that you use, the size of your letters, the spacing between your letters, the space that you leave after your margins, or, the top margin, the bottom margin, the left or the right margin, and what is the pressure that you use in your handwriting, what kind of slant are you using, are your signatures matching your handwriting or not. So there are so many things that are to be covered, and you know, due to this time thing, I could cover only a few things. Okay, so before that, I would move ahead to the next part. Okay, so this is a tip for you all. Like if you are a person, you know, who has high BP, high blood pressure, and you get you know, you get angry easily, very easily you get impatient, it's a tip: don't use ball pens. And because if I compare a ball pen with a gel pen, when you're using a ball pen, the amount of pressure that you apply while writing is much more as compared to, when you use a gel pen. So therefore, sometimes when you think that you are lacking concentration and you want to feel a little more calm, take a pen, gel pen preferred, and the pattern that I have shown over here, draw it on a sheet of paper. This is one of the patterns that is used in graphotherapy. Graphotherapy is again is a part of graphology, where handwriting is used as a tool in order to help you calm yourself and do a lot many other things. So this is one of the examples that I've stated over here. Draw this pattern slightly, don't push much, don't apply much pressure. Use a gel pen while drawing this pressure. This not only increases your concentration and attention, but it also helps you to calm down. I have a few more patterns with me which I will be sharing after so I will share it with sir, and you can use on practice those patterns on a daily basis on a plain sheet of paper, maybe 5 or 6 lines daily. This will help you increase your concentration. Some of the patterns help you increase your attention focus. So these are the patterns that are also again used in graphotherapy. And yeah, this was about my presentation. And moving, just a second, I will just go back to my last slide where I was talking about the analysis. Again, this is a proper sample of what handwriting analysis sample looks like. You have to use a plain sheet of paper. This is advised because if you don't use a plain sheet of paper, you won't be able to tell about the baseline of a person. You need to ask them to write about 15 to 20 lines in a paragraph form. Apart from that, ask them to use a ball pen because you won't be able to understand the pressure of a person's handwriting. And apart from that, there are so many things. So I hope with this session, you might have got an idea about what handwriting analysis is. And this is just 1% or maybe 2%, I would say, of what handwriting analysis or graphology is. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana.
Sanjana ma'am, thank you so much. But I want to know, what about those who have dysgraphia? Or could you please put a little light on that, Sanjana?
Ma'am, definitely. But this is only introductory session. Okay, ma'am. The thing which you're asking is about 10th standard. And we have spoken about LKG, madam, today.
Okay.
Definitely,
right, but a very great, good presentation.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It's a mind-blowing presentation when we see whatever people are
very nice
writing.
presentation.
It is one of the
wonderful, amazing.
Thank you so much, Sanjana. It was very good.
Yes, best presentation till now.
On something
whoever
new,
wants to team 1 minute, I will
It was
mute
really
everyone.
wonderful session, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you very much, team. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone. So the chat box tells how the presentation is. Ashrin, can I have you now? Ashrin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So one more presentation. We are going to have a very mind-blowing presentation. Okay. So let me introduce Ashrin to all of you. Before that, actually, she is going to talk about transactional analysis. She is going to talk about transactional analysis. In transactional analysis is 1 minute. First, let me give you the brief about a TA. 1 minute. Okay. So transactional analysis is a science of behavior. science of human behavior. Transactional analysis can be applied anywhere. TA is one of the therapy. TA is one of the theory which can be applied in the personal life, which can be applied in organizational level. It can be applied in educational setup. It can be applied anywhere. Mostly in schools, when we go for faculty development program, we cover more of transactional analysis and NLP. Both these both these sciences have a wonderful effect, and we can see the result immediately. We can see the result immediately. So transactional analysis, it is a science of human behavior. Transactional analysis starts with personality structure. The personality structure, as Uzma said yesterday, adult ego state, child ego state, and parent ego state. Regarding this personality structure, tomorrow we will discuss. So tomorrow I'll be sharing the link. Tomorrow we will be having the session in Insta. Okay. So if you are not in Insta, just join. And before going to Ashri, so Ashri is going to talk about one of the next concept. That is a driver concept. She is going to talk. Before I hand over the stage to her, I would like to introduce, I would like to talk with one senior person here, Paulos sir. Paulos sir, good evening, sir.
Sir, I just want to say I've known Paul sir for a long time. He's a very inspiring person. Paul sir, Anita from Bangalore.
Oh yes. No, the way in which he was sitting now, actually, I was able to understand he's a very senior personality. So I thought today we can have an introduction from him and also Markadarshan, isn't it? Sir, Paulos Arimba sir, we are very, very happy to have you here. Sir, I have seen all your videos, sir. Yesterday, I think you have shared in my YouTube. It was all wonderful. Really, we would like to hear from you for a longer time. Okay, sir? For a longer time, we would like to hear from you about psychology, about various aspects. And we are all really so अच्छा ज्यादा बोलना तो आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता, ठीक है? अब थोड़ा शांत रहना, बाद में आता हूँ आपके पास, ठीक है? ज्यादा बोलना sir, can you just give an introduction about you, sir?
Yeah.
About you, sir.
Yeah, I am Dr. Paulos Arimbur, born in 1949. That means I completed 71.
Wow.
I am an MBA with a specialization in marketing and finance. I am a marketing professional, retired as a general manager of marketing.
Oh, sir, that's great, sir.
In 2004, I got a passion of teaching and training and counseling. So I started learning transactional analysis. I am a graduate in transactional analysis from ICTA. We call it a BTA.
Yeah, now, I know, sir.
Now I am taking admission for MTA, that is Master Level Transactional Analysis.
ये Arimbur, कौन है तू?
Who's that, Sanjana? Can you just?
Please kick him out. Was there, no, sir?
On is disturbing every day, sir. Please kick this fellow out.
No, what is the name? If I know the name, I can remove immediately. Understanding who is that personality is there. Now we have some people like this. We will take action. Ashwin, I will make you host. Okay, yes, Ashwin. Paulo sir, thank you very much, sir. Transactional analysis we have been discussing here. So tomorrow, sir, I request you to spare your valuable time of 30 minutes. And tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will get in touch with you, sir.
Okay.